Awesome. How's it going, Keith?
I'm doing okay.
Awesome. How's the weather everywhere?
I'm out in Moab. I'm doing okay here.
How about you, Matt?
Yeah, it's nice out today. It's only in the 60s, which is low for Texas. So,
That's good. What part of Texas you at?
just south of Houston.
Okay.
What about you?
I'm in McAllen area.
Okay.
McAllen area, South Padre Island area.
Yeah, I have a coworker who went to school in McAllen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's basically where I'm from.
Oh, cool. Okay.
All right. Anyone have any issues? Any questions?
I have lots of them.
All right. Hopefully, me and Matt and whoever else is on the call could help you out. Let's see.
Are we waiting for more people or?
Oh no, you can go ahead and ask us. It's fine.
So the 611 is the preferred router, the DeWalt?
For the M2, yes.
Okay. And then I just, I had gotten on your website and tried to order an M2 the other day, but it just didn't work. It just kept telling me the page doesn't exist. And so I had ended up ordering one on Amazon, and it looks like you guys already shipped it.
Okay.
From Amazon. So I guess I assumed it's exactly the same.
There's when did you try to order this?
It was either yesterday or the day before that I was trying to order them, and it wasn't working. And so I saw it on Amazon and just ordered it there.
All right, give me one second real quick. 1 second.
Hey, Keith, while he's looking that up, the DeWalt 611 is the recommended router. I had significant trouble sourcing one of those, and I finally got it.
Yeah, me too.
And I broke it. So I sent it back, and I got some other clamp sizes so that I could use different routers in there. The 611 is pretty nice, but I used too much torque on the lock on the collar and broke it internally. So, you could look at the other clamp sizes available. It doesn't come with those other clamps, but there's other routers that fit in that clamp. So, make sure you read the document real close and get those exact models, because like the Bosch one I bought was just, almost exactly the same size as the hole. And I had to return it because it wouldn't fit in there without extra machining, and I didn't have the equipment to do that. So, anyways, just make sure you print out those models and use those when you're looking for routers, because I know the DeWalt's really hard to come by. So,
all right.
Yeah, I just found one of the DeWalt's at Ace Hardware and got it ready to pick up.
You're set then. Don't worry about it.
Awesome. Yeah. As far as that, I sent an internal note to a few people out here to see what's going on as far as why you couldn't order it on our website. And as far as Amazon, those are they're the same thing. It's an M2, but it's just our 2020 M2. It's not the 2021 M2. So on those, I'm sure you got that one for $9.99, correct? On Amazon.
Yeah, it was. I think it was about $9.99. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
something like that.
On our website, the new ones, the 2021 M2s are a little bit more because they have a different Z axis. It's the same Z axis. It's just the way it was built, and it comes with a better dust collection.
So I had tried sending emails to your support, to your group, but I hadn't really been getting much answers about, for instance, dust collection. So is it? I wanted to have good dust collection. What do I need to do for that? Or did I make a mistake ordering the one from you guys through Amazon or what?
Well, it's not really a mistake. It's just it's an upgraded. If you have it and when you get it and you don't open it, you can go ahead and send it back, and I'll have someone we can manually place the order for you if it's not if the website's not working. But I will address that right now to see what's going on.
It may be working now. It just wasn't working a day or two ago
Okay.
when I ordered it.
Okay. What error were you getting? Do you remember?
Yeah, I was saying this page doesn't exist. Basically, when you'd click on the link, you would go to the main page that showed both the Maslov and the Maker and the M2, and you click. If I clicked on the old one, the $500 and some one, it would go just fine. But if I clicked on the new one, it wouldn't. Now it was also still showing, I think, $9.99 on your website too.
No,
at that point. So
at that point, no, it shouldn't have been, because we actually updated that price since we went live the other day on Tuesday. We changed that on the website.
okay, so maybe I was doing it on Tuesday while you were in the middle of updating it or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
Like I say, it was in the last couple of days.
1 second.
Okay, so are you saying that you were shipping the old ones Monday and the new ones Tuesday or something? Is that what's happened?
On Tuesday, when we launched, when Patrick went live, we actually that's when we launched the website with the new M2s and the new pricing on them. And then all the M2s that we have right now, they all are in Amazon. You can find those on Amazon for $9.99 if you still want that price.
Well, I have you guys have already shipped it. I ordered it from Amazon and I got a shipping thing from you guys that it had shipped already. So I assume it'll show up today or something. Can't really tell. And then I guess we can look at it.
So I purchased one of mine through Amazon, and it was fast. I got there within like a day or two.
Yeah, they say, I was looking at it. I had it sent to Utah, and they kind of shipped it all over the place. But it looks like it's still coming in today or tomorrow, so it's coming in pretty quick. I just didn't. What I'm trying to figure out is there something I care about that the one I got just ordered from Amazon is not really current?
No, you'll be fine. The only thing you'll need to do is update firmware. You don't even have to do that, honestly. It depends but you can update the firmware. So if you run 1.2.2 and the new firmware, it's a little bit easier to calibrate things.
Yeah, Keith, like with anything, you just ordered it on the border of when they had the previous version and a new version. It looks to me like the Z-axis is held on differently, but I think what you've got is what I've got, and it works great. So
Oh, did you get the M1 or the M2?
Oh, he got the
I was in M2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, then you want everything will be up to date. If you got M2,
yeah, Drew, they've got
everything will be up to date if you have shipped from Amazon.
They've got a new
just besides firmware, it's maybe software.
Yeah, and then Casey has some amazing dust collectors as well. He sells them on the website on Makerwaves, right, Casey? You can you can explain more about that. And that I don't know about the new models, but I know for the one that you have, he has an amazing 3D printed dust collector.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll just get the thing in and try to figure out what's going on. It just sounded like you were saying you guys just released a new model on kind of the same day that I bought that model, and I was trying to figure out, what it is I'm missing.
Yeah, as long as if you do want the new model, okay, it's good. It's different as far as the Z-axis. The same thing. It does the same thing. It's just the way it was construed, the way it was made. As long as you don't open it and assemble it, just send it right back to us. We'll go ahead and just pay the difference, of what it is, and we're more than happy to ship it out to you.
Okay, well, I guess nobody knows what's in the new. What really is different about it? If I can't tell the difference, I'm not sure it matters.
No,
it goes through all the headache.
There's not. It's gonna do the same thing, exactly the same, thing.
Okay.
So
then I don't see any reason to go through all the hassle.
Exactly. Yes.
I'll do.
And then if you really want good dust collection, Casey has an amazing thing, and he also sells. If you have a 3D printer, he also sells the files, so you can print them out yourself.
Okay. All righty.
Yeah.
Is there a forum somewhere where all the M2 users get together, like a web forum?
We're actually working on that right now. It should be up here in the next week or two. Hopefully, don't quote me on that, but we're working on the forum, and but we do have are you on our Facebook group by any chance?
I don't think so.
If you have Facebook, look for Maker Made User Group, and there's a lot
Okay.
of knowledgeable information, a lot of good information from the community.
Alrighty. I'll click join on those and try to get joined.
Awesome. You're on mute, Drew. I don't know if you want to be on mute.
Yeah, I'm opening bay doors, so just stay on mute.
Gotcha. I thought you were talking.
Yeah, just trying. I'm gonna play spell scripts.
All right.
How's
Any other
everybody
questions?
doing?
So what's everyone up to today?
Well, I guess as soon as my meeting is over here, I gotta finish making up our sign that we had started yesterday.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll show it to you, like if you want. Nothing, it looks pretty good.
Nice.
Got it upside down right now because I had to flip our board upside down because the slats were just enough to catch the sled on this when it was coming down. So I flipped it over so it slid over the slats easier. But that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing today. Making sure that gets finished and working on a few boards over here.
Awesome.
Oh, I did have a question though. So I believe it was yesterday, I was cutting out some boards, and when my machine got to the top, like it started like the motors, instead of like they would stop and start. Like as it was going, it was trying to make the access on the top board. It was like they changed the go, it like do the kind of thing, twitchy all the way across the top, and then it would start going smooth again. Is that something that is maybe corrupting my G code, or
Is it the same file that you're doing right now, or is it a completely different file?
it was a different file?
It might be something with the G code. Usually, sometimes you got to make sure you have to always make sure your feeds and speeds are correct.
Right.
Always make sure you're cutting the correct feeds and speeds. That plays a huge part as well.
Okay. Now what is the, like, so if running like say 1/4 inch bit, what is the max feed speed that I could run my maker at?
The max that I ran it is at 35.
At 35?
I don't know, 35 inches per minute.
Yeah, I cranked it up to like 45, and
That's probably why you're probably might have a little bit of issues if you do have issues. I mean, you can crank it. I mean, it's up to you. It's your
Right.
it's your machine. It's your but the max that I've done is 35. Drew, do you have any recommendations on that, Drew?
Sorry, I missed you there. So as far as the speed,
Yeah.
I mean, you can crank it, just slowly crank it. My advice, if you're gonna play with how well it's not just how the machine can handle, it's also what you get used to. It's also the designs. Because
Right.
sometimes if you have really intricate designs and you're pushing them pretty fast, you're asking for a mess. But if you're just doing like some straight cuts, just stuff like that.
Breaking up, Drew.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
lost Drew.
We lost you, Drew.
What I recommend is always practice of
Hey,
and
Drew,
play with
we're
some
losing
depth,
you.
depth you're
we're
diving
losing you.
and what kind of cuts you're doing stuff.
We didn't hear nothing you said
That
right
way,
now.
and that way you'll have a good understanding.
Yeah, we heard nothing you said as soon as you walked outside.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So what I always recommend people do is just get a piece of, because it's, even if you have guidelines, all my machines, and we have 30 something 3D printers, and I'll have exact same firmware, everything else will all behave a little differently. It's just the nature of, recommend everybody do to get used to your machines. Like all my team here, I make them play with doing, so get a piece of wasteboard, practice speeds. So just play with your speeds, and that way you know your machine, and you also, it gives you a feel for it. So you might do like some circles and squares to see how it does at different speeds, and just adjust and see it. But intricate stuff, you're going to ask for a mess. If you're doing really intricate stuff and you're pushing it really fast, you're going to ask for a mess. So
Right.
and it's not just the speed; it's also how far you're diving. So you can push it faster if you're not doing a dive, if a deep dive.
If you're not doing a super deep dive, yeah.
Yeah, and then you also have to get used to your end mills too, because your end mills will behave differently also. So I recommend if you're going to have something you're going to be doing where you're just doing some straight cuts, like you're cutting a piece, like a shape for a desktop or something like that, and some other things, play with it and get some, like we have our own board, our notes we keep up here by our machines.
Mhm.
So we know handle what speeds will handle. It's like with and like the team now knows, because I have them play with stuff material all the time, and so they know machines pretty well, and they'll know which materials and stuff like that. You have my shop guys who you hand a piece of material, they'll be able to tell you which laser, which mill can handle that speed and what dive they can do based on the end mill they're using.
Right.
So they've got, so just it, but the only reason they did is not because there was notes on it they memorized, it was because I just made them practice and play. So
Yeah.
and you may break
one-
an end mill, a couple
and
extra
then-
end mills. If you have things you want to push fast, you may break one or two. So I always recommend keeping a few extra end mills.
Now, I've like calibrating your machine. So when I was doing my maker, after Mike got me going again on this computer the other day, I had to recalibrate. And when I did, like when I was going to my right side, like it was almost 9 inches off, like on the sides. Like why would that be? Like on the top and on the other side it was perfect, and then when as soon as it went to the other side, it was like, it was, instead of being like 9
Are
inches.
you sure your chains are even?
Yeah, like I measured them and yeah, did all that. So
Sometimes you're sure your sled, sometimes it pops off the bearing from the sled and it'll stick a bit, but it'll pull, but huh.
I'll have to check that,
So it's
because
only
like,
9 inches. It's only on 9 inches on the top, like left or something like that.
so okay, if I go up, like, so on my top, I go up, and it's generally, it'll go up anywhere from like 9 to like maybe 8.5 inches, right from the top. Go left, and it'll stop right about 9 inches, or so in the corner, within say an inch. Bottom left, same, but when bottom the same, then when I go to the right side, it goes up, like, and it's like, instead of being 9 inches, it's like 18.
That's weird.
Yeah, I've been.
That may be a Chris. Yeah, that'd probably be a Chris, sir. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, one corner. I'm trying to think. I think it'd be a change. It could be your calibration. You may have, it's something you may not have set right in there, but honestly, I'm bad about calibrating mine. Like, because I'm not doing, like, if you're doing a full 4x8, you're going edge.
Breaking up. Hello.
Yeah, we lost Drew again.
Really good. Like, what I'm gonna do is good. And, sorry, I'm gonna switch machines real quick, but yeah, my machines aren't that. Honestly, this one's not calibrated that much. So what I have is I just have it set where like I know where I'm gonna be cutting or whatever. But that one's calibrated. But I'm not going edge to edge usually on stuff. I'm not doing 4x8 edge to edge usually. If I do, I go to that machine over there. or this guy over here, which is now flipped around, but I'm gonna switch things real quick because I'm not getting a good signal on my phone. I'm gonna switch to my little Zoom card.
No worries. All right, sounds good. All right, Lauren, you had a question?
Yeah, I saw had a good month in the business and I'm ready to do the upgrade kit a little earlier than I anticipated. What I was hoping to see, I reached out and I guess I don't know who Barbara is or whatever, but basically what I was hoping is I didn't know if y'all had any ideas on how to basically purchase the upgrade kit, or is it worth to make the full upgrade kit or purchase just the parts of the components? The issue is like a lot of the new upgrade kits on the MakerMade website, or the new upgrade kit on the MakerMade website, has things that I don't really need. I've already got tons of bits. I don't need a new cord. I don't need all those things. I really just need the new sled and the Z axis. I was just trying to get maybe y'all's input on what I should do there.
And you're talking about like you want to, what do you have right now? What do you currently have?
I'm using the classic.
The classic. Okay. We have the bundle, but we all that comes together already. So there's no way we can just take that out what you need, as of what I'm aware of and what I've been told. But you are aware that when you do the upgrade right now, it's still the original M2. It's not the new M2 upgrade. Okay, you know how we have the new M2 all metal one? It's not that one. It's not going to be that one. If you do purchase the upgrade, it's going to be the original.
Yeah, because I saw the new 2021 M2 automated cutting kit, and I mean I can see the difference there. It looks like the sled's pretty similar.
The sled's a little similar. It's similar. Everything it does the same thing as the original one, the M2. It's just has a little bit better dust collector. It's not too much of a difference. And then just the sled the Z axis. It's all metal now. But when you do get it, if you do go from the original Maslow, the one you have, to the M2 upgrade, you're gonna get our original M2 Z axis and sled.
What's not metal on the old upgrade kit? Because they look exactly the same on the website.
It's it's extruded metal, I believe it is. What is it, Casey? It's made out of
It's a stamped steel and it's bent. But here's the thing, for the new system, these things are like Harley Davidsons. You love them, but they'll vibrate themselves to death. You're constantly going back and you're tightening up screws and all the little T-nuts that are in there. You hear people talking about putting Loctite on that stuff. The reality is you don't want to put Loctite on any of that because you got to take it apart at some time. So the new stamped frame, what that does is it gets rid of all of those nuts that's in the current extruded frame assembly. So that's a good thing. It still connects to the board with 2 pieces of extruded aluminum, but it's bolted in 4 pieces all the way down the sides of the 20 by 20 extruded aluminum. So it's it's not a performance upgrade. It's a maintenance upgrade or a reliability upgrade in my mind. I mean, I don't work for MakerMade, guys. I'm just telling you what I see and what I know. And when I'm looking at this, I'm just, that's what I see. That's the big benefit. The second thing is how the bricks clamped onto the wood on the deck?
Yeah, I noticed they got straps now.
Yeah, now they're straps. They're maybe easy on, maybe easy off. But I did see a couple of items on there that I didn't like, but I'll let people make that choice for themselves. But yeah, I mean, that's really what it is to me. It's not a performance upgrade. It's a maintenance and reliability upgrade, which, hey, that's good, right? These things, like I said, they're Harley Davidsons. You love them, but they vibrate themselves to death after, a couple hours. So
oh yeah,
really
I definitely understood. I also wasn't sure if there was any changes because I was debating just getting the new, because really my biggest struggle that I have with the classic over the entire thing, because I've got my own kind of dust collection system going fine. My biggest challenge is the Z axis, just the speed and the accuracy of it every time. And I was debating like just buying the upgraded Z axis, but I wasn't sure if I needed to have the upgraded duo board or not.
I said just buy the new M2 and have 2 of them.
I'm with you, Mike, but I don't got that much room in my garage right now.
It's good to always have two things like that. Like me, like, I mean, when you do have room, buy another one. It's always good,
Now,
Oh, yeah.
as for your boards there, the one thing that I would look at is the old boards. If you know what I'm talking about, when you got two boards, you got the Arduino, and then you got the Motor Shield board that snaps on top of the Arduino, right?
Yep.
The newer boards are the newer kits, and I mean, I don't have an old one, but I've seen lots of photos and help people with them. The old ones only have two motor sinks, heat sinks
Right.
on. Now, to
Yeah,
me,
track.
that's not good. I mean, you got 3 damn motors on this thing. It should have 3 heat sinks on it. So, I mean, if you're going to update, if you're going to go with the new kit, the upgrade, I guess, I would make sure that you get that new shield that goes on top. To me, that would be definitely you should get that.
Yeah, that was one thing. I also like the fact that the new one also comes with a cover on it. Like I'm constantly being conscious. Like I have my own little cover, but it's not perfect. So I'm constantly having to clean it up just to make sure. Because I mean, you get that fine particles of dust, and anytime you have electronics, like static electricity, clings like a champ. So it's just being constantly cognizant of making sure my board stays clean. So, and that was the little things. It's just, yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't know if this is my only frustration is if you're making an upgrade kit. To me, the upgrade kit doesn't really make sense as it sits now. Because if you're upgrading from a classic to the M2, the components that are included in it don't really make a lot of sense. If that makes, like, why would I need an extra cord to upgrade it? It's the exact same cord I'm connecting. It's just I need a new board. I'm really just doing a new sled, if that makes any sense. And I'm curious why MakerMade chose to build the upgrade kit the way they did.
I don't think that I don't think that was really a choice for them when they, these things are all outsourced. They buy these kits, and this is what comes in the kit, right?
Yeah.
So they buy them in bulk. So I think it's really just what their manufacturer puts together, and they sell them as their kit. It just kind of all rolls down the line. So yeah, I know you don't need 2 cords, but you know what? I don't know. I had a mouse chew through mine a couple of months ago, so I was kind of lucky that I had a different one. So you just never know.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
That sounds like a good answer to me. Because that's
Hey,
kind
I
of
got a
cute.
question.
Go ahead.
Hey, with the new boards that you guys got coming out, are they going to have any capability for the 3D? I know I asked you about it the other day, but like I watch it cutting out the letters and it moves left, right, up and down just fine. And I know it could have fairly well capabilities of doing some 3D, but you said that it won't read it, or I don't know if it's the software issue or what, but
No, you can do 3D, like 3D relief. You can do that. It's just that it has to run. It's running on the sled.
yeah.
It's got to be smaller than an 18 by 8. Well, heck, less than that. It's got to be more like 10 by 10. Because your sled is an 18-inch. It's an 18-inch sled. Yeah. So the whole sled on the top, bottom, and sides needs to still be touching flat wood if you're going to be cutting.
Well, I mean, if you kept a frame on the outside of it so that it was, I mean, within that, as long as your frame was always rubbing on the outside of it, that would work, right?
Well, then you can make a 2-foot radius sled too.
Yeah.
And bigger ones, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that's
you make
exactly
up
what
for
I've done.
longboards. And I mean, like, I want to be able to take one of my longboards that's 4 foot tall and I want to cut rib cages all in it. I want it to be full 3D relief, and I mean, if it's going around for the outside of it, I mean, really, I've only got that 10 inches on the inside. So I should be able to work its way into the middle and do a full 3D, right?
Maybe.
Because I mean, we couldn't get it to read any 3D files at all. Like it didn't matter how big it was or anything. It would not load anything 3D and it would not do it. It just wanted to do full cutout. That was it.
Yeah, any kind of STL files or anything like that, it will not read.
What STL files? How are you doing it? It depends on how you're doing it. Are you doing that? Are you loading the STL files directly to to
So what we had tried is we tried doing both. We tried to upload the STL file direct, and we tried and we also went online to get a conversion to SVG, so STL to SVG conversion. But none of those would work either.
And we're doing it in Inventables and then swapping the G code over.
Yeah.
I have an Inventables account and then we do everything from there.
all right. Casey, are you familiar with 3D reliefs?
If you want to slice it and get something that you can do well with it, if it's really easy, if you use what do you call it, Tinkercad, and you go in there and slice it to a 1 millimeter layer. So slice the layer. So just do a blank block on top, blank block on bottom, merge them, and that will give you a nice slice. And then export as STL. And you can, if you want to slice real quick that way, and Tinkercad's free. And I do that quite a bit when I need to flatten a 3D file, so I can laser cut it. Other things, and it's a lot easier than trying to do it with. You can also, there's things you can do with Illustrator things, but the best way is Tinkercad if you want to make it quick and simple. And you're going to basically create a hollow, 2 big square hollows or whatever, and then take them so there's a 1 millimeter gap at the level you want to slice. So put those just with a 1 millimeter gap, and then when you merge all 3 items, you'll just get a flat slice of that, and export that as an STL or as SVG. It'll be fine.
So if you have an STL file, remember, no matter what you do with your 3D, one side's going to be flat, the other side's going to be a 3D release. So you're going to do a flat one.
Do you guys have anything on Makerspace that has directions for all this stuff?
Or like what, like
3D part?
no, as far as 3D, no, we don't.
Okay.
For 3D, there's a 9 a.m. call with that Drew's on that one. Drew with MakerMade.
No, but he wants not 3D printing, 3D reliefs.
Okay.
Yeah,
talking
3D
about-
reliefs
He
with the
wants to
M2.
carve in wood. He wants to carve with his M2. The reality is you can, but Makerverse, you need to load G code that was already designed for it, and EaselCam will do it. But you have to have a 3D STL file that you load to EaselCam for EaselCam to create that G code. Then you can load it directly to Makerverse. And Makerverse will just cut whatever the G code says, right? And the G code will be 3-dimensional.
So you can upload an STL to Easel, and then that'll turn it into...
No, not to EaselCam. It's another free software. It's out there.
Okay. EaselCam, not Easel. Okay.
CAM.
I do have an Easel Pro account with all that stuff on there. Is that separate?
Well, Easel Pro, actually Easel, they say it'll do 3D carving. If you just use, if you already have the Pro version, then you could probably just use a bullnose or V bits to do your carvings.
Okay.
So check into, if you've already got an Easel Pro account, I'm too cheap, I won't buy one, but if you've got that, you should be able to utilize, and you'll do it instead of just trying to, do it in those different, I guess, all in one chunk, you can do layers and just use bullnose bits, round nose bits.
Okay.
You might take a little sanding afterwards. I mean, but let's be realistic.
That's fine. I mean, I don't mind doing the extra work or going back in with a Dremel or doing stuff, but creating the effect that I want is the key.
Yeah. You can.
Otherwise, I got to pay somebody else.
You can do that just by using like 2 or 3 different layered files in using Easel Pro. Have a 3-dimensional file. Do one layer with this bit, do another layer with this bit, another layer with this bit, and you just run those files over the top of each other with your M2.
Okay, yeah, that was something I was thinking too, because each bit has its own path, its own cut, the way it does stuff. So
yeah, see, you got with Easel Pro, you can actually do a rough cut and a fine cut. Where if you're just using the Easel, free version, you can only do one cut. So yours will actually, if you use the Easel Pro version, it will save that home, and it will actually allow for bit change out. It'll come back to the home position, pause, and wait for you to change out the bit. Then you put in the next bit, rehome the bit, and then hit play, and it'll go back in and finish out its fine cut. So yeah, if you think about that, you could do probably 2 files with different offsets in them if you have a lot of relief in it. And man, you're golden. Just remember round bullnose bits and your V bits. Use a 60 and a 90-degree V bit.
Yeah, we have both the 60 and the 90 right now. So, like we have quite an assortment of bits.
Yeah, I got a full wood shop, and
Yeah, so it's doable. It's just remember, it's got to be within the confines of the sled, because the sled has to have something flat, at least on 2 to 3 sides, to keep it flat.
yeah, that's why I was thinking if I keep everything within a frame, as long as it's touching most of that frame on the outside of it, you keep everything within, should be fine.
Yeah, so that means your sled is 18 inches in diameter. So you can't really carve anything that is 18 wider than, like I said, probably
Gotcha.
a 10 by 10, because you're going to at least need, 4 or 5 inches for that sled to slide on.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think if I want to do big 3D, I'm just going to have to build a bigger sled for that.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
I'm trying to figure out a way to do that. I actually have a design. So I'm trying to actually turn our M2s into gantry CNCs so we can actually carve on a full 4x8, but it's in R&D right now. Let's put it that
Awesome.
way.
That would be awesome. Have it run on a gantry instead of on chains.
Yep. Well, no, it'll still use the chains. It's still going to have the soul of the Maslow, right? So it's going to use the two motors on the top with just the Z, but the sled is bound and guided on a hard, rigid gantry.
Why?
So yeah, think about your accuracy. Your speeds will improve. Right now, if you think about the sled, the way it's designed, it connects in 3 ways: your 2 motors at an angle, and then straight down with the brick weights. So it's being held in place on any coordinate from 3 locations, like a Y.
Right.
In most CNCs on a gantry, it's held by all 4 corners. It's solid.
Nice.
So you can increase speed, increase accuracy. And for me, I want to be able to carve, and I want to make this thing go a hell of a lot faster than 30 inches per minute. That's my big thing.
Yeah, that's something that we've been working on trying to do too, is getting our speed like up on our cuts, because like our simple designs, they don't take like simple boards, they don't take very long, maybe 45 minutes to an hour for a simple board, but still that's a long time.
Look at adding a spindle. If you want to do something, you can look at a spindle, and there's actually PWM and spindle control in them too. It's probably what we're working with right now. I'm working on some of the PWM spindle control for some of the other pieces. And that will give you more reliable. It'll be much more reliable than just having a router. And so you could even do a water cooled one, which you don't have to have a chiller. You could literally just pump a bucket of water next to it, and that would work. And but your spindle's gonna give you a lot smoother. So if you're moving at faster speeds, you can control, you can adjust, you can adapt the speed. So what you can do is you add design where there's areas where you could do fast movements. You can set it where it has adaptive speed for those different movements. And so and with the router, you can't do that because it's always turn on or off unless you're sitting there adjusting the speed on the router itself. But the spindle, you have PWM speed control. And you can actually, there's stuff you can do depending on the tool to set there. The G code or the M2 will handle that, where you can set different, you can have different spindle speeds for different paths and stuff. So it's something to look at. If you really want to push speed out of it, because at least it'll be adaptive for you.
Drew, you got a pretty awesome camera set up there.
It's a Facebook portal.
Oh, that's what it is?
Yeah, I just have a Facebook portal that they're on Amazon for like $200, and I just put them all over the place. I put them on a little cart, on these little carts you see in my background here. I have them on those. So they all have UPSs built into them, and they're like $100 now, because they were originally just for doing Facebook, for Facebook messaging stuff, which was really stupid. But they're actually built really nice, and they're a great camera, great conference system, and everything.
I noticed
And
that it was following you around the room, which was cool.
yeah, it does an amazing job. You can actually manually control it too. And so it does a really good job. I'll do group mode. So I bought a bunch of them for the office. I was like, have them all over the place. I have them on carts because when we're doing Zoom meetings, I don't like sitting still. So it gives me the ability, I can roam around, and having them on the little medical carts makes it easy too. But they have now the Portal TV. I just got one of the Portal TVs in yesterday because Portal TV didn't do Zoom, and now the Portal TV does Zoom. So I've got some of the big touch screens, the Elo touch screens. They're like the Surface big, and so I'm gonna put them on those. So yeah, check Amazon. They're worth it if you're doing a lot of Zoom calls, stuff like that. And it does other things too. It does GoToMeeting now and other things, and Microsoft Teams, which it's the best camera I've had so far, and the audio I've had so far.
Yeah, I really love your shop. The thing's huge.
That's nothing right there.
Oh yeah, you muted yourself.
Yeah. This is the maker made section. I've actually got it kind of cleaned up now. So I finally cleaned the woodworking section. We had a bunch of things that we did. So I'm working on right now. We're working on actually PWM signals for for a new thing they're doing with the maker made. Trying to help Chris with some stuff, but yeah, then we got the woodworking. I try to do everything on casters. I like to be able to just rearrange things as I need it. I just like run over wires. But yeah, then upstairs is all like the lasers and 3D printing rooms and stuff like that. And up front's the offices, which I avoid the offices and the stuff like that. And then here's our like metal and all that stuff. And then outside I've set up welding areas and all that.
Nice.
So, but yeah, I'm messy as y'all can tell. So I promised my team I stay out of our offices. I go in the kitchen every now and then.
You got like a hacksmith shop.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. My wife made me get out of the house, so we decided to start. I did a lot of tech startups for years, and I did a lot of angel investing in device companies a while back, and so as we did, I built R&D labs for the teams just because we needed to try to get things to market faster. And so over the years, I've just ended up with tons of stuff and didn't want to sell it, so kind of as I figured I'd try to figure out where it pays for itself. Though at times that's an interesting challenge.
Right.
But yeah, that's a laser module. It's gonna be cool. The laser module is really cool. Y'all would have fun if you're doing a lot of stuff. It sounds like y'all are doing some cool work. You should definitely look at spindles. You can get a nice spindle on Amazon for like $500, $400, $500.
Yeah. Nice. And I would just hook up to our sled or what?
Yeah, so you'll hopefully click on that when I have the laser in this now. But yeah, just go right where your router is.
Oh,
and
nice.
And then you're gonna have on the back. Let's see if I have another shield over here. No. I have another M2 shield sitting over here somewhere. On the back of the M2 shield, you'll notice. So the old M. So this is like the old. This is the old M1 shields here.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't have really the IOs. You just had for your Z-axis for your different steppers. But the new one has whole connections for PWM, for spindle, for laser, for other things, which is really nice.
Yeah, we have the new one, so that's cool.
Yeah, it's really easy. It's just a 2-wire connection.
Cool. Yeah, we were looking into doing something like that because you say that's pretty much the best way to go for doing like 3D, huh? Like 3D release.
I think it would be, honestly, if you're gonna be doing detail with 3D and there's gonna be some, when it gets really fine details, you may want it to slow down a little bit and move. So, and not just slow down movement, you may want it to slow down the spindle speed too.
Right.
And so it's gonna allow you to adapt to that.
Oh, nice.
because I have some big mills in here. I have some huge, like 12-ton mills in here, and they what do you call it? That's so they automatically they have head changes and stuff like that. So it's a hydraulic head change system where it changes the end mills automatically, and so it change and it adapts speed based on cuts. Even with metal, you'll see it'll adapt speeds for how it's doing the cuts. Now, luckily, the cam with that does a pretty good job of anything. I'm using Fusion 360 for doing designs, and then
Nice.
but yeah, and the nice thing with spindles too, it'll be a lot quieter.
Right. Cool. Yeah, I don't know what is going on with my machine. Why when I go to the right, it was, it was like 18 inches off, like from where it was like, rather than being 9 inches from the corner, it's like 18. I have no idea why that right side is doing it.
I just say recalibrate.
Yeah, and I did it like I had to do it like 4 times, and like
I've done mine like 30 times.
yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like, I did it like 4 times in a row just to get it like where I was close, where I could actually start cutting with it again.
Are you running Makerverse 106 or are you running 122?
106, I believe, is the one that he got me hooked up with. So
I would, if you're gonna upgrade to 106 or 122, you're gonna have to do. So you have to download the Arduino software. It's really easy. There's some tutorials on there to update the firmware on the Arduino. And so you'll update the firmware on the Shield and Arduino, and then update to. And technically you can run 106 without updating to the 122 or run 122 without updating the firmware. But I would update the firmware on it'll take all in all it takes like 10 minutes to do everything. It's really fast, really easy. And the calibration, everything else is so much easier with 122 than 106.
no, I think that's what I'm running is 122. That's what Mike hooked. I'm pretty sure that's what Mike hooked me up with the other day.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, I had Mike got online with me and took hold of my computer and downloaded everything, the new software and
He has the 1.1.2.
Oh yeah. Mike does. Everybody I've talked to, you do an amazing job, Mike. They've all had some of my friends have taught. So
Awesome. So I recommend you just recalibrating. I don't know how that issue again. And if you have an issue, go ahead and like record it and send it to me so I can see it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. Like, when I'm cutting the sign here, I'll
also, I mean, if you have room, it's always good you can always get a update to the 15-foot chains,
right?
And a 12-foot beam, and you get better accuracy at the corners if you want to use a whole 4x8.
Honestly, if you're going to be doing a lot of speed too, even if you're not building a bigger backboard, I would go to 15-foot chain. So like $45 is worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. To give you more room, you can set it a little bit easier. You could go with a bigger. I would go with a bigger top beam, just to give you a little bit more room.
Yeah, like the 12-foot instead of the 10.
Yeah, and that way it just gives you a little bit more precision. But yeah, definitely give you more precision, and it's not that big of an upgrade. I mean, you're $45.
Right.
So, I think that's what it is for the chains. Maybe less, maybe more. I don't remember, but yeah.
Nice.
Anybody else got any other questions?
Oh, there was one other thing. I don't know why my Z-axis was like going crazy. Like the other day, like so when I was trying to do the calibrate everything, like my Z-axis kept setting off the soft limit alarm. Like anytime I tried to move it up, even, even a millimeter or whatever, it was setting it off. I didn't know what was going on with it. Like I ended up having to reset, like wipe all the settings and then go back and do it again.
Why do you don't have to wipe the settings. Why don't you just turn off your soft limits and then turn it back on and you define 0?
I tried that and it still was like every time I would try to move the Z axis, it was like I even turned off the soft limits to see what was going on with it. And like I actually had to quick unplug it because it was gonna keep on going right on past where it was supposed to. So I don't know what was going on. Maybe it might have been a connection issue with the cord or something. I'm not sure.
It happened. It happened one time, and it's not doing it again. Correct?
Right.
All right. Send me a message if it keeps on doing that. Send me a message, and we'll try to see what's going on with it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It was just the other day, like right after I got off the phone with you, I was doing a calibration, and that was what it was doing. I don't know why. Like it was. Yep, it was giving me a headache for a minute. But now it's just giving me a headache when I'm trying to set my edges or whatever. Like my edge calibration is, I don't know what's going on with it. And like my computer that I switched over to now, like the screen isn't allowing me to see my accuracy. So like I can see that I can only see that it's accurate, that it's telling me that it's there, that the message that's coming up is saying that, it's not saying that my machine is quite uncalibrated anymore. Like that's the only reason I know it's even close.
Yeah. Have you tried doing some smaller things just to see, like do some squares in there, just do some squares like across the board, do like a 2-foot section, do squares from dead center, and then do out left to right, a foot out left to right, or 2 feet out left to right by about 2 feet tall. So you're not going, so you're doing like a 2x4, but not doing a full 4x8, just to see
Right.
how you're doing.
So I haven't tried doing a smaller like workspace, like, but after after I've calibrated, like say, like now my machine is calibrated. I don't know where it's at, but I know it's within where it is to needed to cut. It actually makes its cuts pretty decent, but
What I'll do is I need to get this. I'll get this over to you, Mike, and I'll put this on the this background on this one. You can see.
Mm-hmm.
See if I can zoom out or not.
Oh yeah.
Let's see, we're going a little bit. Let me. So I have the design file for that. I'll send that over. It's just a calib, and that way, if you put just a piece of $10 shower backer or something on there, and then you can cut it into it, and that way you have a little back, and then as it gets screwed up, you just toss it and put a new one on. But at least to give you a good idea, so once you get calibrated right, you can set mark points, or where you mount things, you'll know exactly where they'll be based on your back. It just makes it a little bit easier.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been noticing also with the new Makerverse, the other one, like maybe it's my computer, but like I cannot hardly read the millimeters on the screen, like unless I zoom in like super far.
Your resolution is just probably really high. What's you're on a Windows box?
Yeah, using Windows. I don't know. It's an Asus.
Yeah, if you just go to settings.
Yeah.
Settings, and then go to the system. Up here, see, I don't know if you can see my screen very well. Let me manually do the camera here quick. Or camera control, manual. That's the other nice thing about this thing is you can actually do the manual camera control, which is really cool, honestly. Do a good job. Let's see if I need I'm at the mirror effect off. There you go. Now you should be able to see it. Okay.
So I should just turn down my resolution is all.
Yeah. What's your resolution set as?
920 by 1080.
That's not bad. What screen is it?
What size screen is it? I don't know. Maybe a maybe a 12-inch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if it's small. So you can also do this. Leave your resolution the same, but see where it says up here, change the size of text. and apps for that. I can't see my screen very well, but see if I can get that to change it. But right above your resolution, let's see here. Of course, I'm getting too much glare. Grab one. Yeah. Well, anyways, you'll see where it says 100%, 125%, 175%.
Yeah, scale and layout.
Yeah. So you might change your scale to like 150% because that resolution is not the high resolution. That's not even.
Yeah, I'm
1080.
at 100. I'm at the 150% recommended.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like maybe I'll try to turn that down a little bit too.
Yeah. See what happens because your app suggests you may have to restart your app. So sometimes depending on the app,
Right.
it doesn't always restart the change resolution. That. All right, I'm just trying to figure out what we got. Trying to figure out a PWM issue here. Running into right now. I was an electrical engineer in the Marine Corps, but I'm getting rusty.
Yeah, it helped a little bit.
Anybody got any other questions?
Yeah, is there a maximum depth we can set this thing up to cut?
Maximum depth. Go ahead, Drew.
That's a good question. I was thinking about that. Your maximum depth is technically it would be your sled, what your sled can drop. The problem is you got your width, you got your length, your end mill and everything in there. You could realistically get like 1 or 2 inches out there. You can't adjust the sled though. You could actually technically move your router back if you like cut a different mounting system for it, and that way that the router is mounted really high, and then you could have like calipers. Give me a second. I'll find calipers, but.
I was thinking if the travel distance is 3 inches, like technically you could almost set it up like you could do a solid like 2.5.
You can push it pretty close to 3 because if you did it where your end mill was like at 0 was at max was like barely above it, like just it's risky, but you could do that and then have it dive all the way down. Because
So if you wanted to cut like in a 2-inch or 1 3/4 material, would I have to get something different? Would I have to do some mods, or could I do that with the system as it comes?
I mean,
give me a second. Let me grab my calipers. I think you might be able to get about 1.5 inches. Let me grab my calipers real quick. You're gonna have to set you could, I mean, one thing you could do is you could always cut off part of your end mill, cut it in half in length, put it in there so you have exactly like the depth you need, a little over the depth you need sticking out of your router. That would give you a lot more travel, because sometimes what will happen is you'll lose an inch of travel just because.
I was gonna say, like, if you got a really long end mill, like, and you could bring your Z-axis all the way back up, like, you know, as long as you had like a really long end mill, like you could potentially travel almost the entire distance of the Z-axis. I would think on a dive, like, you know, as long as your end mill is long enough, like.
It looked like most things you guys were doing were 3/4 board, and I was just wondering if I could do, 2x4 thickness or 2x12s or whatever.
I seen a guy like on YouTube was using 2x4 thickness, like, and cutting stuff, like, so he 3D cut a guitar with the Maslow.
So there has been a few people that they actually do glue ups of boards because now plywood is getting really expensive. So people have actually been making their own boards by doing glue ups and clamps, and they're usually 1 inch to 1.5 inches thick. I've seen them go through that, but up to 2 inches is. I know 1.5 inches is probably doable. I have a 2.25 horsepower router on mine, and I have that thing bottomed out. and I can get, like I said, I could probably get an inch and a half on mine if I lower the bit a little bit more in the router. But honestly, I think that's about as far as you're going to get with the way it's set up because you only have so much stroke length. And even the bits themselves, they only stick out an inch and a half to 2 inches out of the end of your router. And I know I've bottomed my router out on the board. So
Yeah, so you could, if you got 3 inches of travel, you got 2.8 inches of travel on that with the M2 setup. So you could squeeze where you could realistically probably get about 2.5. Now we have cut through an inch and a half. I have some stuff in the back where we did foam board, stuff like that, where we did 3D things out of it with the foam board. So, but you can cut through. You could just make sure you don't do, you have to, it's the problem is you're gonna have to do a bunch of dives. So don't have to try to dive all the way down like 2 inches at once. Have it go like an eighth of an inch fast, do an eighth inch passes.
Okay. And I mentioned this earlier, but I'm just right at the buying one, and I've got, I guess the option of the one from last week and one from this week. And I think Case listed a few things out about the stamp frame and the brick holder and the dust collection being a little better, but it sounded like maybe there were some negatives, and
the M2?
I need to make a decision on the this week's M2 versus last week's M2.
You mean this?
I guess there's a new one
this year's
week,
versus last year's. Yeah, there's a 2021 model, I believe, that everybody is talking about. The one that everybody said that has the stamped frame instead of one that gets screwed together.
So I heard the stamped metal frame, the better brick holder, better dust collection, but it sounded like there might have been a few negatives, and I didn't hear them.
I think as far as any negatives go, there wasn't really any. I mean, besides like the M2 itself, by getting a newer one, you're just saving yourself some headache by, saving yourself some time by maintenance, preventive maintenance, taking nuts and bolts and stuff. I believe. Drew, you're muted again.
Did I?
Sorry, guys. I've been on Zoom calls. What do you call it? So really on this one, you're really looking at the big difference is the sled design, just the way sled's built a bit. So I mean, have you already ordered one? You said.
I ordered one off of Amazon, so I guess that's 2020 version, and it sounds like they have a 2021 version now, but they're like $200 difference. So I wasn't sure if there's anything worth it. As just a beginner starting out, home shop.
No, I think you're fine. And you can always get parts later too. So you can always just buy the specific parts you wanted for the 2021. But the shield, the Arduino, the other pieces are all the same. It's just really the frame for the sled. It's different.
So they gotta So Keith, again, whatever it is that you ordered, if you got the M2, the last year's version, it's going to function exactly like the new version. The only thing they changed was you don't have the extruded aluminum Z-axis frame. Instead, they have a stamped metal frame. Everything else is the same, and that includes my point. The thing I don't like about the M2, I never have, is the dust collection. It's insufficient for this thing.
Honestly, one thing that you're looking at, if you're wanting something to be better, so one thing about the 2020 frame is, so you can buy these extruded aluminum rails really easy. You can buy these on Amazon. This is a 2x4.
Yeah.
1x2. Sorry, it's a 1x2. And so you can buy a longer one of these. You could put a longer screw in there, and you could actually set a much longer depth. And then it costs you, it's only going to cost you to buy these two rails. You can buy them in 4-foot chunks and just cut them, or you can buy them in pre-cut lengths. It's going to cost you like $20. It's really cheap for those extended aluminum. And so the nice thing is, the only things you have to do is extend these two, your guide rods, but you can buy those at Home Depot for a couple bucks, a 4-foot chunk of this, and then a screw. And the screws you can buy cheap too on Amazon. So if you really want to do a lot of depth, you could do it that way too, where you just extend that, where you can't do that with the new slide.
All right, and that big blue wooden frame you've built out of 2x4s, is there an advantage of building that out of unistrut or something in metal, or is 2x4 plenty for this?
It's plenty for this, but it depends what you want to do. Like I like the old. I don't want to wall mount these things. So I move crap around all the time. I'm always rolling stuff around. It's so and sometimes what's nice outside, we've got 2 acres of security lot back here, so I like working outside. It's just nice to roll around. There's some cool metal ones that are awesome. And I actually we were going to build one. Somebody stole my scrap about 2 days ago. So. But it's really up to you. The nice thing is I would build one out of wood first. I've accidentally, I've screwed mine up. I've accidentally not got mine all square before. So just practice.
Okay.
I do agree with what.
And then I guess my other thought was you were talking about the longer chains, which I assume it comes with shorter chains. If I get the shorter chains to start, do I just build a longer top bar so that I could later on upgrade to longer chains if I wanted?
No, like your chain length is going to be based on your top board length. So if you get longer chains, you're going to want to get a longer board length. If you would say go to 12 foot with the regular chain length that they have on it, like your accuracy and everything would be so messed up. Like it would not. I don't think it would work.
Yeah, you can make it.
I may just put a longer board and not actually use it all, just in case I wanted to later on change it.
I would do that. Now I have mine. Just unscrew them real quick, 'cause that's why I like. That's also why I like the original or the original frame design. And there's a bunch of frame designs. So there's some great people in the Facebook community that have some really awesome frames. The thing I would recommend adding to yours, you can get these on Amazon too. Get you a stop button. As I lose my system here. Get your stop button. Just a table saw. In the back, what's nice is all it has is just 2 plug outlets in back. So one plugs in, and I have the Arduino, the power brick for the Arduino and for the Shield plug into that, and the router plug into that. And that way, for some reason, I just kill it, and that way it stops if you accidentally go over. You don't bust a chain, because I've busted springs. And I busted. That spring's okay, but oh no, like this is the one. Yeah, this is spring accidentally stretched pretty bad. I've busted a few springs on things over the years.
Okay, so I can add an emergency stop button. That seems like a good idea, and just go ahead and build the longer top piece of wood and just not use it all for now in case I want to upgrade to the 15-foot chains.
Yeah, then you can always just unscrew your motors. You can,
just unscrew your motors and move them out when you upgrade.
That's what I was thinking. Okay. All righty.
All right, guys. We reached the limit, 12 o'clock, guys. We're going to let y'all go. Everyone have a wonderful day.
Hey, guys.
If you have any other questions, go ahead and send me a message to support@makermade.com.
Thanks,
guys.
All righty, thanks.
Thanks.
Bye, guys.
Bye.